This video was a collaboration between The New Yorker and a nonprofit called the Van Allen Institute. And together, the three of us were kind of coming up with breaking, like, stories that were relevant and newsworthy related to climate change, but that also kind of had a bigger picture element to it. So it wasn't just covering breaking news, but it was also kind of like taking a step back and looking at the how and why, and also looking at solutions. And so we brainstormed 3 different ideas, and the California wildfires was one of them. Once we chose the topic, it was like the month of October was pretty much like pre-production and development. And that was a lot of like reaching out to people. I had seen a short video in Time magazine that featured the 2 architects with the fireproof house. And so I reached out to them and had a phone call. And so it was like a month of like reaching out to people and doing pre-interviews. And then based on those interviews, deciding who were the strongest characters for the film. We shot for 6 days in like early mid-November. So we filmed for 1 day with Margot. We filmed for 1 day with John and Lori. We filmed 1 day with Chris Dykes, the fire behavior scientist. We filmed 1 day that was just B-roll. And then we also filmed with a family that didn't make the cut, a family that had survived the Thomas fire, that had like fought the fire off of their house.
Wow.
And then we filmed 1 day with Sarah Rathbun on the fire line. And then we filmed 1 day in Escondido with Ron, who was the planning consultant. We had planned to shoot in that kind of like mid-November time frame, and the campfire and the Woolsey fire kind of happened during our shoot, just totally coincidentally. And I feel like with this topic, especially with environmental topics, it's so like it's such a challenge to make them feel really urgent and to make them feel like really emotional, because a lot of this stuff, it's like big picture and it's long term, and like the human brain isn't really wired to like comprehend stuff at that scale. And so I think that like in the open of the video, like having that footage of the different families like escaping from the campfire, and being able to like, there's something about seeing Margot like sitting on that boulder in the middle of like the hole where her house was, and having her say like, "This used to be my dining room." Like there's something I think really emotional about seeing people in those situations that I mean, like really good writing can get us there too, but I think that video can like drop us in and help us empathize with people's situations in a way that's like even more immediate.